Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and this is the 2020 year in review. So let's get started. Before I jump into this, I want to say thank you to our patrons. We've seen quite a few people join this year, and it's been amazing. You know, we've been able to do Patreon chats with the guys. We've been able to upload PDFs for them, run games for them, and many more things. So if this sounds interesting to you, you can become a patron too by heading over and donating as little as $1. So 2020 was a year that I remember going into it. I thought, oh man, we're going to do big things this year. I have all these ideas. And we were running a couple games. We had just gotten a new laptop. We had started to actually take steps in the direction that I thought this channel was going to go in. We were running games for other YouTubers in person, and that was cool with Descent into Avernus. We were running the Forgotten Throne campaign. We had all sorts of stuff going on. And as things were progressing, I also had started a new job at the beginning of the year. And I thought, oh, this might really hamper some of my plans for the channel because I'm going to be working a lot. But at least I'll have some extra money that I can invest into the channel. Was thinking at that time, if I was doing really well, that I would invest in an editor so that I could film videos and then they would edit it for me. And that way I could hit my schedule deadlines and really grow the channel how I thought I was going to. When we were sent home from COVID, I decided at that time I was going to focus on doing more live streams. I started interviewing people from different places. Interviewed dice creators. I interviewed podcasters and writers for Paizo and writers for Green Ronin and all sorts of people in the industry. And it was really, really well received. It was a lot of fun. I interviewed my friend Unmade Gaming, Mike, just a bunch of cool people. And, it was something I liked doing. I learned then I really love just talking to people in the hobby. And that's why I've done more live streams this year. Wouldn't have happened if COVID did not happen. I would not be doing as many live streams. I'd probably be working on doing 2 videos a week, a couple live plays, and that's it. But I love interacting with the chat. I love just talking role-playing games. And that right there, if I can take anything away from 2020, that would be it. It really made me focus on the things I love to do. Now, is this something I'm always going to do with the channel? I don't know, but right now I'm loving it. At the end of 2020, live streams have become a big part of it. And in 2021, they're going to continue to be a big part of it. I will also be doing more videos though. That is something that, while I didn't do as many as I'd like to do in 2020, in 2021, I hope to do a lot more. And, we'll talk about everything I want to do in 2021 in another video, but this is just looking back. Now, about a little over a year ago, I had hit like 2,500 subs, was feeling pretty good about that. And, had to figure out how to say no to certain commitments. People would ask me to do things, and knowing that I don't have a lot of disposable time, I had to learn to say no to a few commitments. And while it's hard for me, because there's a lot of things I love the idea of doing, and I love helping other people, I can't commit to helping other people build their stuff as much as I'd like to. If somebody wants to collaborate with me and they think that they're going to gain something from working with me on my channel, 100% I'll do it all the time. As long as I like the idea and it fits with what I'm doing. If it's something that they want me to come on their channel, I'll still do it if I have the time, and only if it does not force me to neglect things for my own channel. Again, that's something new, and it's something I had to learn to do. Because every time you say yes to something over here, you're saying no to something over here. And that's the reality of it. And me being who I am, again, I've always been someone who wants to help everyone. And so that's probably the hardest lesson from the last 12 to 13 months that I've had to learn is how to say no. Here I am at the end of 2020. I'm doing more with friends and other people in the community. Just filmed some stuff, a real quick couple clips for my good old buddy No Nat. He has an awesome Pathfinder channel. You should check it out if you haven't. Been able to game with some awesome people like Bill Allen and BN Drake, Roll Stats, like just a ton of cool people. Luke from the DM Lair, Nate from WASD20, Colonomicon, TP Grant, Shiny Math Rocks on Instagram. She's been fun to play with. Like, just a ton of people I've been able to play with and consider friends now that about a year and a half ago didn't really consider some of them friends. Didn't even know Nat until like May of this year. So, again, there's been a lot of good that has come from 2020 for me. And while, I agree it's been a crappy year for most people, and it's even been crappy for me in a lot of instances, it's also been a blessing in disguise for me. Again, it's got me doing things that wouldn't have happened otherwise. I've really buckled down with my channel. I've done over 21,000 minutes of content this year, which is a lot. If you look at all the streams I do, that's probably where most of it comes from, between the games and the mini painting and just hanging out with you guys. But I wouldn't have it any other way. That's been awesome. And I hope in 2021 we can do that more. Or maybe not more, but just as much, It's, like I said, it's been great for me. I haven't made the income I expected from working a full-time job, but, that's okay. The YouTube channel is doing better. I'm officially breaking even. I'm covering my costs of what it costs for Zoom to run games. I'm, between Photoshop and all the other things I invest in monthly for the channel, I'm just a touch over the break-even point. So that's really cool too. And then occasionally I get some cool stuff sent to me for a review. So again, I'm happy, and that's, I think, the most important thing to take from this. Now, the next step is to still grow this thing, right? And again, I'm going to talk more in depth in the next video about that, but I feel optimistic that 2021 will be a good year. And, it's going to be slow going early on. It's going to be just like it's been. If I continue to meet new people and hang out with some awesome people in the chats and stuff like that, that's enough for me. That's enough. Me being able to game with you guys, that's rewarding in itself. We're going to be running games once a month for patrons, and we're going to be looking for new people to join the campaigns and stuff. And our Discord is really active. We've got some awesome people over there, some fellow YouTubers over there, people looking for games constantly. And I know I always say that, but there's always people there looking for games. And, anytime people are having a bad day, it seems like the other people in my Discord are there to pick them up. And that's great. So I feel like we're building something good here. And 2020 played a big part in that. I'm 8 years into my YouTube journey, and I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon. Like I said, if I can take anything away from 2020, it's then that, the unexpected can happen and good things can come of it in crappy situations. And so I'm extremely grateful for 2020. And while I know not everybody is, I know people have lost people. I've lost distant relatives to COVID. And I'm fortunate to not have lost anyone extremely close to me. I know others have lost some and will always hate 2020, and I don't blame them. But me, I think, assuming things continue this way for me, it'll always be a year I can look at with some positivity and say that changed a lot for me in a positive way. And I'm going to try and look at it positive. I don't know if this is a good video for all of you to watch, but for me, I just wanted to kind of look back on it. We've gained 733 subs. We're pushing 3,500 subs. Hopefully we hit it. That'd be awesome. We had 70,000 views this year. That's not a lot, especially for a larger channel, but For me, that's a really good year. We had 597,000 minutes of watch time this year. So people, you guys have been watching a lot of my stuff, and I appreciate it. Again, I'm thankful for you guys. 2020 was good, and I hope 2021 we are still a big part of your YouTube viewership. I hope you guys stick around. And if you guys have ideas for things, let me know in the comments below. There's a lot of videos I wanted to do this year. I thought I was going to focus a lot on D&D 5e. I thought I was going to finish up certain series and start new ones. And I had all these ideas that I had been sitting on for 2.5 years. And it changed. I got a curveball. I started getting into Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I like 5e still. I like a bunch of games. I'm really interested in diving into Call of Cthulhu. I'm really interested in playing some Dragon Age. I'm interested in trying new systems, and more so than I think I ever have been. I don't think I'll run all those systems, but some of them, yes. And Fantasy Flight Star Wars is another one. Before this year, I had heard about it. I never really wanted to dive into it. And then, this year, finally tried it. Paul from my Discord, Lord Lapsor, came over. He lives within a few hours. This was back in January. And pre-COVID, obviously. We played. I loved it. My wife loved it. And because of it, that's probably the next game system. The very next game system that I want to go towards. So it'll be Fantasy Flight and then maybe Call of Cthulhu. But those are my top two that I really want to invest in a little bit. I want to get the core books from Call of Cthulhu. I want to get the starter boxes from Fantasy Flight Star Wars and the core rule books for that. That's what I want to do. And I think it's going to happen. I think we'll be playing some Fantasy Flight Star Wars on this channel in a few months for at least our patrons. And we'll probably run a Call of Cthulhu game at some point in a few months for our patrons. So that's it, guys. That's about all I can say about 2020. Just thank you so much for everything. I've made, like I said, some of the greatest friends this year. And again, for me, it was a great year. I know it wasn't for everybody, and I'm sorry that it wasn't. But just know that if you've played any part in this year for me, that I appreciate you. So thanks for watching, guys. This was Master the Game. I am Juice. Game on.